What's up, Faithbox? I'm Maggie, and we're on day 22 of our Everyday Faith this month on the theme of fear. And today's Everyday Faith is an action. So I hope that you will take some time throughout this week or next week or over some weekend that you have some free time and actually put this challenge into action. So it says here to confront what scares you. And I know that in itself can be scary, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together and we're going to work through it. It says, today's action is about becoming better at managing fear by confronting the thing that scares you. Look back at what you wrote on day 8 and outline below what steps you need to take to confront this fear and overcome it in your life. So if you flip back, day 8 was about identifying the source of your fear and figuring out where the root of your fear comes from, and then being able to pray for God to give you the ability to overcome it. So we did that several days ago. I hope you were able to identify the source of your fear and start to think about that. I mean, I know that's really hard sometimes to really get to the root of it all, especially if it's a really big fear. Maybe it has multiple roots, and maybe there's multiple instances over your life that have caused that same fear to keep uprooting each time. But today we're gonna start putting the wheels in motion to confront that fear and just be able to continue to overcome it. So here, just outline below what steps you think you need to take to confront this fear to overcome it in your life. And there's 3 bullet points there, but if you feel like it's gonna take more than 3 steps, get out another piece of paper, get out your notebook and go ahead and start writing all of this down. Sometimes it just takes sitting with it and thinking through it to be able to make it feel a little bit easier. If you try to zoom out and see, oh my gosh, I have this huge fear, I just have to overcome it. And that's sometimes impossible. But if you zoom in and just focus on one step at a time, it can be a little bit easier to do that. And maybe your first step there is just to pray. As it said on day 8, that praying and asking God to help you identify this source to be able to give you the ability to overcome it. Sometimes that's the first step, So don't worry and don't feel like this has to be something you have to do by the end of the month. We're already on day 22, so that's not required or expected. These fears are real and they're scary and they're big, but God will give you the courage to overcome them in time as you start to work through them and start to identify these steps you need to take to start overcoming them. So I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next day of our Fear Everyday Faith.